reporter then, huh? Now do you go out in the field and get information? Or?
Yeah, I'm a columnist, and I have the great luxury and privilege of being as independent as you can be, in that I have 3 days a week my column appears, and I just tell them what I'm writing. And as long as it's there on time, they don't ask you how you do it, where you do it. You're pretty much totally free to write about what you want. Although sometimes if there'll be a big story like JFK Jr.'s plane went down, or Supreme Court, or Red Sox winning a Game 7, something like that, they might say, would you write about that? But they don't tell you what to write, obviously. It's up to me.
Does that mean that this program will have a little bit in your article someday?
Let me tell you.
Am I instigating some promotion?
I've always had the feeling that every single person you meet is a column. Spend enough time, have a cup of coffee, 15, 20 minutes with anybody, and you can walk away with a column.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe that.
Yeah,
Like that show, what is it, that there's 50 million stories, and you're one of them.
You're one of them.
Was it
Absolutely.
Jack Webb that used to say there are 8 million stories in this city?
Yeah.
Every person.
Jack
has a
Webb, I think, said, just the facts, ma'am. Just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
facts.
oh
the
yeah,
facts.
yeah. Who was it that said there are 8 million stories in the city of New York?
His program when it was coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you're saying the same thing. Everybody.
Everybody is a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
has
has
a
a
story.
story.
Because the real interesting stuff, it's just the simple stuff. Not
It's the
big,
everyday
complicated.
life.
Everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I loved when I was doing sports. I don't want to say I didn't care who won. Obviously, you do care, but I had this. When you're a columnist, and say there are 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, guys from one paper covering, say, a Game 7. Just before the game ends, they'll get the guys together. Who's covering what? You're going to that locker room. You're going here. You're doing the quarterback. Just so you don't all do the same thing. And quite often, as a columnist, they'll ask you first, what do you want to do? And in the 25 years I covered pro sports, I always said, give me the losers.
Is that right?
I didn't care if it was Celtics, Lakers, Red Sox.
You do very, very
Give me the
good
losers.
sob stories.
Well, yeah, you can sob.
They're great. I love them.
Because most of us don't win Game 7 in our life,
I know it.
It's dealing with disappointment, dealing with all kinds of things that life throws at you. And there are so many better stories in a losing locker room. That's real.
Yeah.
Winning Game 7 is not real. Tom Brady is not real.
No.
That's
You
not
like
my
the-
life story. It's not yours, I
No,
assume.
no.
You like the ones that you're all dressed up with a broken heart.
Yeah, the ones people can relate to.
Yeah.
Who can relate to winning a Super Bowl? Nobody. We don't do that in our life.
No.
But losing a big game, making a bonehead play, I can relate to that. Sure. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you write about how he screwed up by doing this or doing
How he
that?
dealt with disappointment.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all screw up.
Hey,
We all screw up.
when there's a lottery, there's so many losers and only one winner.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
I don't know how the people in this viewership feel, but I write quite often about the lottery, and I am so dead set against it.
Yeah.
Gambling, the nature of gambling is the house has to win. And in the case of the lottery, the house is the state.
That's right.
Yeah.
Meaning, for the state to succeed, almost everybody who plays has to lose. Meaning the state has a vested interest in you losing your money.
They buy all the computers for every place that they're selling tickets.
That's right.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, a lot of these corner stores couldn't survive without those machines.
I know it.
But if you assume that government's role is to make life better for its citizens, how can you have a situation where government has a rooting interest in you losing your money?
That's true.
That's the lottery.
Yeah.
And gambling is as addictive as alcohol, drugs, tobacco.
Yeah.
So,
We have a lot
end of my
of
speech, but
No, we do
I'm not
have
a
lot
fan of the lottery.
We have a lot of situations. Do you ever write about the fact that drugs with our children are getting to be so bad?
I write about that, and I write about the most abused drug in America is alcohol. But it
That's
has
true.
great public relations.
Yeah.
You light a cigarette out in Broadway, and you'll have the National Guard hitting you with a hose. But meanwhile, you go to any restaurant up and down the street, may I get you something from the bar?
Yeah.
Get on an airplane, the flight attendants passing by with margaritas. Every place you go, they put alcohol in front of you, and it's assumed that you're going to want to have it, especially at a ball game. You mix alcohol and sports. What a terrible mix that is.
It is.
Terrible mix. Plus, they all drive home.
I know.
And then you have a headline, 4 killed, and we all weep these crocodile tears. Meanwhile, we keep throwing the stuff at people.
And you get these riots, and my granddaughter's best friend got killed with that bullet in the eye at the Red Sox game.
Oh, Tori Snellgrove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she left from my son's house in
Really?
East Bridgewater to go to that game.
What a tragedy that was. I did a couple of columns on that young lady when she died.
That young lady, I used to see her at all the family parties that they
Really?
showed up. Oh yeah, we're very close to them. And look at how she got rubbed out because of the riots through alcoholism and drugs.
And the Red Sox, they professed, and the mayor, great horror over the role of alcohol after the ball game. But these are the same people who got special legislation to sell booze on the streets a couple of hours before the game.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Even the football games, look at how they have the roast out in the lot there with tents up there.
Oh yeah.
It's a crazy world.
I was flying to, I have 2 children that live in Naples, Florida for years. And I was flying down there last year. And for some reason or other, they put me on the wrong plane, and I ended up in Cincinnati. So now I can say I've been to Cincinnati. Then I had to turn around and come back in a lightning storm to Naples. But what bothered me, and I don't think I like to fly anymore, where I was sitting right here in this first class, the stewardess kept pouring scotch into. I thought there was a limit to how much you could drink on a plane.
Probably
much
the
they
limit
can
is
serve.
as long as you can afford to buy it, they'll keep pouring. The limit
I thought they
is your
could
wallet.
say like 2.
Oh, that,
They have no conscience.
But it kept pouring it, and I said, my God, supposing he was a violent person, you don't know if he's somebody who likes to eye you or whatever.
That's right.
I was nervous. I said, bad enough they screw up and put me into Cincinnati, and then I get into Naples at midnight, see this pouring liquor. I was scared. I said, I don't want to fly
I don't blame
anymore.
you. I don't
you
blame
have
you.
a job like Pat Rooney, is that his name, on the 60 Minutes?
No.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
They interviewed
Emily's
him.
father.
Andy Rooney.
Yeah, Andy Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a job similar to his, right?
My job
can say
basically
what
is
he
to give
wants.
opinions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I try very hard to, on occasion, I'll write an opinion column, but the majority of columns I write talking to people about their story.
Oh, that.
Yeah. You can't just, I think this, I think
It's
that every
some-
day. It gets a little bit boring.
Some widow with children and stuff. It's always,
Yeah.
I love your stories. I told you, I don't really care for the Record, for the Herald. I'm a Globe person or a New York Times, but I buy it for your column.
Oh, thank you.
No, because nice sob stories. Because
That'll get you a raise, huh? When they see Apple.